learn some Halachos. We covered the Heilige Sphere, the Holy Sphere that we're in. We already were by Netzach Shirat David Efrat. We mentioned there was Reb Shaila, Ben Moshe's Yotzai. It's going to come up a little bit in the learning. And Hashem is always giving us a kiss, because Mamish, the beginning of this Torah that we've been going through, Likutei Halachos, from rising early in the morning. It's a very big part of Yesod of Avodas Hashem. How we wake up, how we begin, is how we go weiter. It's very important to have the right Torah and the right Hashkafa, and Rabbi Nachman's Talmud, Rabbi Nosson, who gives us the right Hashkafa. And just want to mention as well that this is to dedicate to all those soldiers who were Mesirus Nefesh. We'll mention it in the learning. They were literally Acharei most Kedoshim this week's Parsha. They were like Nadav and Avihu, as Rav Shlomo said this morning, and we were by the Bez Hashem, Baruch Hashem, we were zocher to be by the Kfar Etzion, the cemetery there, Beis Kfaris, in the Chalkas of the Tsva'it and the army, and it was very special to be by such a holy place. And Nadav and Avihu, Avihu was, he said, was the Shah, because they was for the father, Avihu, for the father, and then the Nadav, Avihu was, they were Nadav, their souls, they gave themselves up for Am Yisrael, for the sake of Am Yisrael. So we were zocher to become Karavei Kodesh, become Kodesh to Hashem, and hopefully we'll be doing that in learning. So let's do it for the Shmira Elyon, and everyone should be healthy and well, and have long life, and there's been enough soldiers being taken, and dedicate our learning that everyone should just hear Besoros Tovos for Am Yisrael. Gam Kivtainis V'dabek Acharei Kedusha. Look at that. The beginning of Likutei Halachos, he says, in addition, a person must go without food before Shacharis. Why? Because it conceals the back of holiness. Acharei most Kedoshim. Acharei Kedusha. Such a lashon. Yeah? You go after the Kedusha. That's the Acharei. If you're after the Kedusha, and he's going to explain, we mentioned this concept a few times learning in this parak, but I don't know if we really explained it. So now he's going to actually give us what it means, Acharei Kedusha, and how important it is. We're going to try to finish this whole chapter now, so let's move. He says, this is the aspect of the power of beginnings. Very big yesod in Rabbi Nachman's Torahs, how we begin, Yiddishkeit, how we begin the day. Again, the concept of Rabbi Nachman is you should begin every moment. But imagine the beginning of the beginning is even more important. The beginning of the day, which is the beginning every moment. Begin the day in the right way. This means why repeatedly turns back towards the beginning to re-experience the drive and excitement he felt to receive power, inspiration from the beginning. Because every time you think about it, Baruch, every time you go back to the beginning, you get new inspiration, new chizuk, new motivation to begin again. You think, I did this already, I davened already, I did this learning thing already, I did this shidduch story, or whatever it is. No, you begin again with excitement like the first time. Shehu Ika, ki kiyat chalas kashis k'muvah b'heita v'torah hanam. For the beginning is the main thing, but all beginnings are what? Difficult. Everyone knows this famous statement. As explained well in the Rebbe's lesson. It's a Torah in note 5. It's all the way at the back. I remember which Torah this is, but there's a famous Torah from Rabbi Nachman about Kol Chalas Kashis. I don't know if anyone here remembers which Torah it is. Look at my own. I'm not such a boki, so let's just have a quick look. Fire and water. Yeah, it's a whole Torah. I'm not finding it right now. Oh, 1 second, I was in the right. Here we go. 5. Yeah, Chazal, this one's Kashis. Everyone's including each other. I don't see how it takes us to that Torah, but the main point is we have to realize that we have the ability when we're learning and beginning and doing something new to find the freshness, to find the good in the beginning, because it's going to be difficult. And difficult doesn't mean you give up. It means you're aware that it's going to be difficult. Like you start a new business endeavor, you start a new relationship. It's going to be challenging, but you're aware of it, and that gives you the freshkeit, the energy, the motivation, inspiration to go through it. Yeah, when it's clarified at the beginning of that lesson and at the end of the lesson that you have to put all your inspiration into the devotions from the beginning. So you must endeavor to begin fresh every time. It shouldn't become old. Yiddishkeit should never become old. It's something my Rebbes, Simai Zuberberg, used to scream at people, like older people, like in a Avodas Hashem way, remember? He used to say, you shouldn't get to Yom Tov and say, I've learned these Torahs already. I've done this Pesach thing, this Shavuos thing, this Sukkot thing. I've done this already. No, you should approach it every time. Yeah, right now it's Yom Hazicharon or Yom Ha'atzmaut. You should approach it every time with a new understanding the way Hashem's shining into the world, this moment. You know, tonight is going to say Hod of Tiferes. So Hashem's shining a new light of Tiferes, of truth in the world that never was before, of Tafshin Pei Vav, with everything that's happened in the last years and all the Mashiach Simonim. It's a new energy, and to get old is not really understanding how Hashem's constantly creating Ma'aseh Bereishis again and again. And that should bring us his chadshas constantly. It's a big klal in Bres of Torah and in Torah in general. Because the main energy in serving Hashem is in accordance with the beginning. So remember Rasimaya, get to Hodu Hashem, Kuru Shemo, at the beginning of Zukah Zimra, he'd put so much energy into that initial Hodu, just the Ritzonus, he said, it's like the beginning of the real part of Shacharis, put energy into it. Hodu Hashem, Kuru Shemo. Not like no.
How you start
energy.
How you started.
Yeah, energy. That ritzonus. Exactly. How you begin is how it continues. So each time we must begin anew, since perhaps his first beginning at the start was not as it should be. Therefore, he needs to begin right now. That was what Rosh Hashanah said this morning. You were there?
I missed it.
So he said, be there right now. He said, we don't know what's going to be tomorrow with the Matzav in Eretz Yisrael. But right now we're sitting around the Beis Kavarim singing Nigunim with Kedoshim, soldiers, holy soldiers. Be here now. Right now we're able to do that. We're now to learn it. After Mincha Marav and Shirat David, we're able to sit here and learn Torah together and not feel like worried, nervous in the back of our mind there's going to be a siren or anything. We have to be now, right this minute, now. Be present with the now. It's very important. Lashon, Ata. Al Kein Sachla, it's Chil Ata. It's to begin again right now. And begin every day anew, and you have to study this Torah. Yeah, we have to learn this Torah that Rabbi Nachman brings down. I think it's in lesson 5. I think that's where it is. That's where I was making a mistake. It didn't mean go note 5. It meant lesson 5. When a person fasts for 2 days, the second day is greater value, but only because we determined the period of his fasting the first day by turning back to begin recognizing the hours. Most of us aren't fasting 2 days. Here's an example: someone fasts 2 days. The Amshanover, he keeps both days of fasting of Yom Kippur. Yeah, the 10th, the 9th, the 10th. I mean, we're meant to eat, but he apparently is mamshech till the 11th. I think something like that. He's in a different madriga, but us normal people, we generally are not fasting 2 days in a row. And therefore, every morning before praying Shacharis, one must fast. And this is the whole Torah we were learning last time. He should not eat and drink before prayer in order to what? To extract the sparks in the letters of speech from the narrow of the throat. By returning to the beginning, this is the underlying, the fast. It's the concept of fast to get back to this madrega of a new fast, a new davening, a new avoda, a new day, and to have that kind of holiness to your avoda. Now, remember, I've already said the disclaimer that I drink coffee and this and this and this and that, and especially when you have a Yotzei Reb Shaila. Reb Shaila was all about shefa, bringing down, giving cholas to people, making people feel welcome, welcoming them into a shul. You know, one of the tzadikim, when he see a new person in a shul, he'd come bring him a coffee. Shalom Aleichem, here's a coffee. Relax, feel welcome in the shul, such a thing. Like, I know Rabbi Nachman, but there's other avodas of chesed.
He was talking to his door. They used to wake up chatzos every morning.
Yeah, they were holy.
Now we don't wake up chatzos anymore.
So we have to be real with our generation and not But he said, but this point, he's getting back to this concept. This is explaining now this acharei kedusha, this act to bechinis devekas acharei kedusha, is a concept of attaching and concealing the back of holiness. What does this mean? It is analogous to the Acharei, the stepping back method of writing the name of Hashem, and one repeatedly returns to the first letter, as explained there. So there's a whole Torah of Rabbi Nachman in Torah 5 about returning. So the idea of Acharei, of the Shem Havaya, is you first write Yud, then you write Yud K, then you write Yud K Vav, and finally Yud K Vav K. Minus name each way, additional letter draws from the first. So the idea is you're drawing out and it's chadshus of each os of the Shem Havaya, a renewal of your connection. It's like Hashem's constantly creating creation, Hashem's revealing His name in a renewed way. It's a deep concept that, I don't know if I totally understand it, but, the fact that I don't even, I'm not even holding to not drink coffee before davening, so I'm only like, let's be humble here and just be real that I'm not really holding that. So we'll get to something more practical for us in a minute from Gedale. He's going to help us in a minute. V'zeh swikin b'boker ki b'kol yom v'yom boker swikin etchil la'asik ba'avodas Hashem me'chadsh b'chinas Kedoshim le'brochim. So this idea you must done in the morning. Every day in the morning, must make a new start in the divine service. They are renewed in the mornings. Ki lo etchil adayin ma'olam klau. As if he had never before begun serving Hashem. These are all famous psukim that we say every day. Hayom, a new day. Chol yom v'yom hu be'einecha kedoshim. Chazal want us to treat each day as every day should be new. That's how we should experience life, like new in our eyes. We shouldn't just take for granted we get another day in the world. And these words I charge you, this day should be upon your heart. Hashem wants us to have fresh connection to Him. It's a famous pasuk that similarly the verse, be attentive and hear Yisrael this day, not the other day. Yeah, a new day of Sphira, it's a different day, different energy, different tikkun, different avoda, a new day. Don't say, I did Acharei most Kedoshim last year. No, it's a new parsha, a new time. You've never done it Tavshin Pei Vav before Mashiach comes. Never done it with your nefesh, with your family, with your situation, with everything going on. It's a new experience. Every davening is a new davening. That's how we have to try experience Yitzchak, with freshness, with renewal. And every day needs to be as if it was a new day that never happened before. And it needs to be the day, the first time you're entering into a covenant with Hashem. Like we had at Har Sinai. Yeah, every day we're receiving the Torah. Every day we're getting the opportunity to come in front of Hashem, a new time, a new relationship. Imagine Shalom Bayis. We're talking about relationship flow here. Imagine the type of Shalom Bayis. If you look at every time you come home to your wife, you're looking as a new opportunity to connect to this new, fresh soul that's come down today. Her soul, your soul. You're all excited, like a young chosen getting married. That's the way we need to look at our marriage. So Shlomo Zalman Auerbach, every time he would come home, he'd make sure he's spotless, like in his clothes, sing a niggun, like get into a good state of mind, and come in the door and besimcha and happy to see his wife. The simcha, and it's like a new, my color, my holy color, I'm going to see my soulmate. That kind of renewal, you bring it into your relationships with your children. Another day I get to see children, these gifts that Hashem's given me. Yeah, imagine bringing that into everything. Yeah, I get to see the rabbi, I get to see my friends. Everything starts to be fresh. You don't get just same old. That's the Yitzhahara. Everything needs to be new, fresh. Yeah, a new covenant, new Kabbalah Torah. We have to begin every day. Tinus, thus eating before prayer in the morning is forbidden. Since we're training ourselves is an aspect of fasting. Why just
fall before that?
So he's been saying the whole time that fasting takes us back to the beginning. By us practicing self-control, he conceals the back of holiness from the klipa. The idea is to protect all these things that we deal with, like food and drink. They shouldn't fall into the other side. The person who returns to the beginning each time, making a fresh start, his renewing fervor conceals the back of holiness. The fallen spark can then be elevated and restored to the realm of holy. That's what's happening. Acharei most Kedoshim. We bring everything Acharei HaKodesh. By us fasting a little bit, we bring everything back to Kedusha. So now I'm just going to read a little bit. Next week we'll do the summary of this whole chapter, and we'll start a new chapter. This is chapter Halacha 3. We're going to go into Halacha 4. We're moving in Rabbi Nachman's Sefer. Tomorrow we got Rabbi Nachman Likutei Moharan, and today was Likutei Halachos, which is Rabbi Nassan. And Bez Hashem, the rest of the week will be with Pre-Sadik, with the Sadik, with Sadik HaKohen. But let's just read a little bit of Gedale, because he gives you an eitzah that can be very practical. We have right now 49 days. We were talking about it yesterday in Tanya. 49 days we count. Yeah, mem tes tumnim, munin. These gifts every day. Every day is a gift, a treasure. And Gedale says there's also a concept of 40 as well. When you want to work on something, you want to change a habit, you have this concept of 40. He says, our sages tell us that it takes about 40 days to break a habit. Say you got, God forbid, addicted to smoking, yeah? Or God forbid...
No way.
No, he doesn't. No. God forbid you got addicted to your phone or whatever it is, yeah? You got some habit you picked up. It's very common nowadays for us to get, to escape the pain by addiction or something. So the first 30 days would be unbearable. When you start separating, it's going to be really, really hard. Yeah, remember, we're doing the sphere in a minute, so let's not forget. The second 13 days would be uncomfortable. It won't be unbearable. You'll be able to deal with it, but it's going to be uncomfortable. And then the last days, the last 13, 14 days, you will be unstoppable. Yeah? Give your soul the gift of growth by enduring short-term pain for what? Long-term pleasure. We have to think about the long term. Gedale has a way of speaking. He just gets it. He says, change may hurt at first, but if you can stay in it, if you hold steady through the pain and not run back to what's easy, something powerful begins to happen. Suddenly you develop the confidence. You can do this. You become stronger than the habit. You start to feel clarity, energy, freedom. This is how you rewrite your soul with patience, prayer, consistency, and compassion. So I'm going to hold back from drinking or having a fasting before davening. I'm not going to have a kiddush before davening, a breakfast in a hotel before davening. Even when I'm in the hotel, I'll eat later after davening, yeah? Or I'll miss breakfast. Big deal. Shabbos Kodesh, you have to eat breakfast before davening. Yeah, coffee's enough. If that's the minimum, it should be enough. Yeah, this is how you rewire your soul, your patience, prayer, consistency, compassion. When it feels unbearable, talk to Hashem. When it feels uncomfortable, remind yourself why you started. Journal your triggers. You're going to get triggered. It's going to be hard. But journal it. Bring it into write about it. Celebrate small wins. Yeah, every little micro victories. You have to do a lot of little mini victories. And keep moving. Most people give up right before the shift. Don't let temporary discomfort steal your permanent growth. Amazing, huh? What a good idea. Anyway, we should be Zocha Bez Hashem, Acharei most Kedoshim. We can become holy Kedoshim like these pashas and the Sphira. We can elevate ourselves. And by beginning anew, again and again, we have the fresh energy to face everything, to deal with everything, and never to let oldness creep in. We're young. And Rabbi Nachman wants to be fresh. He wants to be young. He got to that panemius level where he was always connected into the panemius of the Bria, of Hashem constantly b'machadish everything again and again and again. So he was constantly bringing down such revelations of Torah and simcha and love between Jews and the world, Bez Hashem. And Bez Hashem, with that, we'll be zocher to Mashiach, because Mashiach's going to come in a Shat Chak when we're not at least expecting it. And the good news is, because we're present, we'll be ready for it. Amen, amen. I know that sounds contradiction, but we'll be ready for it.